All right, good evening. Tonight we are going to be talking about essential oil basics and just kind of an essential oils 101 kind of a class. I know that there's a lot of you that are new to essential oils, and so I just wanted to make sure that you're getting the basics, because the basics is important. Sometimes essential oils can be kind of an overwhelming subject. There's a lot to learn, but I want to take you step by step. And I can do that, and that's an easy thing for you to do so you don't get overwhelmed and that you feel empowered to go and use essential oils that you have. And if you don't have them yet, you can have an idea of the ones that you want to get and exactly how we'd use them and why we would even want to. So I have been teaching about doTERRA's essential oils for 5 years, and it has been a really fun, exciting 5 years. But it was something that I started out just because I was having some health issues myself. I have a history of stomach issues, and so I was dealing with that pretty chronically and having a lot of problems there, and needing answers, seeking answers. When you deal with something chronic, you're always looking for that next thing, that next hope, that something that you'll try would be that thing that would really, really help you. And so that was always me. I was always looking for that thing. I had been on lots of different medications that helped for a time, but I wasn't quite getting better, right? My symptoms would sometimes subside and get better, but things would always come back. So I started looking at natural things, herbs, changing my diet. I've probably eaten every diet there is under the sun. And again, those things all really helped me. But there was something underlying that I just couldn't grasp, right? There was just something going on with my body that I didn't see and I didn't understand yet. So I was invited to an essential oil class, and I had heard about essential oils about a year before and was not interested. I just thought, I didn't understand what essential oils were. And I didn't understand also that it could have a benefit for me. I thought, what could just applying something on my skin, how could that make my body better or affect me? So a long story short, I left that class with having sampled a bottle of Digest Zen, which is an oil we'll talk about in the class, and it changed my life and completely helped me in my health, especially with my digestive issues that I was having. And I went home and I told my husband, David, all right, this is what we need to do. We need to get these things because I think this is going to be key for me. And he looked at me like I was crazy, but I went to a class the very next day and I got my first kit. And I was so excited. And it has just been an upward, onward, awesome journey ever since. And these oils have given me the opportunity to live a life I never knew I was going to be able to live in my health. I thought I would always be sick. I thought that I would always be dealing with health issues. And the oils have just given me so much support that I feel very blessed by that. And they've given me much needed inner look at my body and really looking at the root cause of what's going on with issues. So that's what essential oils do. Sometimes in our culture, right, we have this quick fix. Everyone wants that quick fix. So, you have an issue happening and you want to take something to have that symptom go away. But that's not truly that beneficial to us. What's beneficial to us is to understand, okay, well, why is this happening in my body? What's the root of it? And then if we can help the root of it, then it won't be a recurring problem in our body any longer. And that's where the essential oils help us tremendously. And that's why we want to use these as our first line of defense, right? I think medicine and medication and doctors are absolutely needed. We need them. They are there for a reason, but with all things, they need wisdom. And they're not the answer to everything, just like I think actually essential oils are probably not the answer to everything, but they are an amazing tool. This is a tool that I believe everyone needs in their home to be able to really impact their health and impact the health of their family in a really positive way. So that is something that needs to switch in our thinking, right? We have to stop thinking about symptom care so much and start thinking more about what's really going on in our body. Why am I feeling this way? And how can I get at the root of it so it isn't a recurring chronic problem in my life? So that is exactly what we do in doTERRA. That is what I do, and that's why I'm passionate about this, because I want people to know that they're empowered, that they have choices, right? They have a choice that they can feel better, and they have a choice that they can take care of certain things on their own, that they have intelligence, you know what to do with your body, you're constantly taking inventory about what's going on, and you have solutions at your fingertips. So that brings us to what exactly are essential oils, right? They're just aromatic compounds. They come from plants, they come from the stem and the bark and the rind of plants, and they are steam distilled or cold pressed. Now they're super potent, so they're much more potent than that plant or herb itself. So they're about 50 to 70 times more potent than the herb. So one drop of, let's say, peppermint essential oil, here, one drop of this is equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea. So you don't need a lot. These are so pure and so powerful that we only need a few drops at a time. So really this 15 milliliter bottle will likely last you quite a while. And that's the beauty of it. So imagine needing to drink, and I mean, I haven't done this amount, but peppermint tea was something that I would drink on peppermint and ginger tea on a consistent basis when I would have digestive issues. And now I only need just a drop or two of peppermint oil to really help settle my stomach or to help me in that way. So I'm really grateful that I don't just have to drink peppermint and ginger tea all day long, that I have this really great solution at my fingertips that only just needs, a small amount of application to really have an effect on my body. So they are historically, of course, used throughout history. We know, the Egyptians used essential oils for their beauty and for their health as well. This is really where we started. We started with essential oils, and so we're getting back to our roots, right? We're getting back to the way things used to be done, and that's a good thing. We need to be remembering those things. So it's important, though, that you partner with quality. You want to make sure that when you're using essential oils in the way that we and I will recommend to you, that you're really using high quality. And that's why we trust doTERRA, because they are just sticklers in this industry about the purity of their oils, about the sourcing of their oils, and that people would use them well and be educated. So they have a standard called CPTG, which is Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. And it is a standard that they actually implemented because there was no standard. So the oil industry is pretty rampant with lots of adulterations and different things. It's the perfume industry. So when you're making perfumes, you don't necessarily need a really, really pure product. Now, when we're using them for, a sore shoulders or a headache or something like that, you would need something quite a bit more pure to give you that effect in your body. So that is why doTERRA created that standard, because there was no other standard out there that would give that to you. So with this standard, they're able to really source their oils globally, and they have a global network of growers, and that it really ensures the purity and the potency. And it also helps them to really work with these communities where they are sourcing the oils to further them, to create more jobs, but then also to teach them how to correctly grow, harvest, and distill these oils to get the very, very best that they can. So doTERRA really goes out globally. So the oils are from all different parts of the world. And that's important, because it's important that the plants are grown where they grow naturally, where they're thriving naturally, where the soil and the weather, everything is working together to create that wonderful environment so that plant can give the very, very best chemistry in the essential oil that it can. Now, when it has that really complex, good, rich chemistry, it's going to do amazing things for our body. So that is something really to take into consideration. All plants don't grow beautifully and wonderfully here in the United States. Sometimes we have to reach other places for us to get that really great effect. And that's one of the things I really, really appreciate about what doTERRA does, is they really do that. And of course, they have rigorous testing. They do third-party testing, but they also do in-house testing to make sure that everything coming in before it's bottled is absolutely 100% up to their standards. And I appreciate that very much as well. There's no fillers, no artificial ingredients, no pesticides, any of that. So you can rest assured that this is going to be a really good, high-quality product. So how do we use them? There's three main ways that we really use the oils, and that is aromatically. So when we breathe the oils in, it's one of my most favorite ways to use the oils. And there's a variety of reasons why. I like to use them aromatically in a diffuser, which I have doTERRA's Petal Diffuser here. And it's great for cleansing the air. So it's getting to be fall and winter, and everyone's, getting some seasonal things rolling in, some sniffles. And so how can we combat that? Well, we can diffuse the essential oils. We can breathe them in. When we breathe them in, it helps to boost our immune system. It's also cleansing our air. So that's one thing that we can really be empowered about. In our own homes, we have the ability to have clean air. And, because really, in actuality, the air in our home is much more toxic than the air even outside. So that's kind of shocking when you think about it. I mean, in your home, your windows are usually closed, your air is circulating, you're spraying probably some toxic things, maybe some toxic cleaning supplies, candles, perfume, different things like that. And that's lingering and staying in your air, and you're breathing in all of that. Not good for us, right? So that's something that we can really change in our own homes, is diffusing the oils, helping to clean and cleanse our air. Also, it helps with your mood. Aromatic compounds, right? This is just basic science. When we breathe things in, it brings memories. It alters our mood. I don't know anyone that doesn't feel all warm and cozy when chocolate chip cookies are in the oven, right? It just does something to you. And so that is the same with the essential oils, but they work on a much, much deeper level than just smelling a beautiful scent that reminds you of your childhood. These compounds and these chemicals, when we breathe them in, they actually have the ability to alter chemistry in our brain. So really beneficial for people that really deal with and need mood support. It is really crucial. Also, it really helps to quiet the mind or stimulate the mind. So if we need focus help, if we need some motivation, things like that, the oils, just by diffusing, can really help us there. But if we also need to rest, maybe our mind needs to calm down, maybe we have trouble sleeping, things like that, it's really important that we use the essential oils aromatically to help with that as well. So in a diffuser like this is the petal. It runs for 1 hour, 2 hours, or 4 hours, and it has a really nice glow light. So that I don't actually miss my candles anymore at all, because all my diffusers have a really pretty nice light to them. And you'll just open it up, and you'll put water inside, and you'll fill it up to right, you see this little red dot there. You'll fill it all the way up there, and then you'll put between 3 to, I wouldn't ever put more than 8 drops in a diffuser, and only that if it's a very, very large space. And then you can just put the top back on, and then you just click the buttons, and for however long you want it to run. I usually just do the 4 hours because it shuts off on its own, so I don't have to worry about it. And when it's done, then I can just refill it with water and start the process over. So that is how we use our diffusers. And I have a diffuser in multiple rooms in my house. All my children have diffusers in their rooms, and we run them every night for them. Really supportive of their sleep, and also just helping with their immune system. And then we use the essential oils topically. So that's just, you put it on where you need it, right? If you have a stomach ache, you'd rub it around your belly. If you have a sore shoulder or neck, you'd rub it there. If you have a headache, you could rub it on your temples and on the back of your neck. just basic places. We also really recommend using essential oils and rubbing them topically on the bottoms of the feet, because the bottoms of the feet, much like our hands and even our ears, have reflexology points. So anytime we're putting the essential oils on those parts, if you know anything about reflexology, you'll know certain areas where you need to massage that oil in to get to different parts of the body. So, for instance, the bottoms of the big toe is a great place for the brain. So with my daughter, she deals with lots of temper tantrums and anxiety and things like that. So I've been taking really calming oils and rubbing them on her big toe, on the bottom of her big toe, and just massaging in there. She thinks it's so much fun. She loves it. She puts her feet up for me every time. And that is a great way that I can support what's going on in her brain. It's just using that reflexology point on the bottoms of her feet. So that's a really great place. It's also a great place for kids because we want to use the essential oils safely and effectively. And we're not doing that if we're putting the oils in our nose, if we're getting them in our eyes, and if we're putting them in our ears. We don't want to be doing those kinds of things, right? So for small children that might, touch their chest or things like that, you just want to use them on the bottoms of the feet, and then put socks on if you're worried about them touching it and then touching their face or anything like that. Now, if it were to happen that you get essential oils in your eye, and it's happened, and we've all survived, then what you just do is your first thought would be to go for water, right, and flush your eyes out with water. But that's absolutely the worst thing because essential oils and water don't mix. So what all that would do was just to spread the oil across and actually make it sting worse. So what you'll want to do is you're going to want to go and get a carrier oil. So anything with fat. So coconut oil, almond oil, even olive oil, if that's what you have. And you'll just take that and you'll rub it around the eyes, and the sting will very, very quickly diminish. So also, when we're using it topically, you might also really want to think about diluting, because we just don't know whose skin might be a little more sensitive than someone else's. And with children, we always 100% dilute with a carrier oil. This is doTERRA's fractionated coconut oil. You can get this several places, but I like it in this small, convenient bottle. So when I travel, I'm always traveling with my carrier oil in case I need it. I like to dilute the oils because when I'm putting them on my skin, I usually like to massage it in. And I like using the carrier oil for that purpose. It's really good for massage. It helps people with sensitive skin, but also the essential oils are aromatic compounds, so they can evaporate. In fact, when you leave your bottle of essential oil open and you don't screw it on very tightly, it will actually evaporate. And I have discovered this. In fact, David, a few times, has left the caps off of the essential oil bottles in our cabinet, and I'll open the cabinet, a day or two later, and almost all the oil is evaporated from the bottle, and I'm like, no! So make sure that you're putting the caps on and, screwing them on pretty tight there. So when we do an oil neat, which is without dilution on the skin, there's a flash off, right? So only a portion of that oil will actually get down into the skin. And so when we use our carrier oil on top, it can hold the essential oil there, and it's more of a time-released effect into the skin. So, for instance, for sleep, maybe you would use a lavender oil, right? Lavender is very calming. You use lavender oil on the bottoms of your feet, and maybe you would use it neat to start out with. But you're not getting the quality of sleep that you're really wanting. So maybe the next night you would try with a little bit of dilution on the bottoms of the feet. And that will hold the essential oil there and give you more of a time-released effect, and you may get a different result with your sleep. So using dilution is, lots of reasons why we want to do that. So not just for sensitive skin or for children, but for lots of other things as well. And then, of course, the third way we use them is internally. Now, not all of the essential oils we want to use internally, and you'll know that because on the bottles, there's a little area where there's supplement facts. And so all the essential oils that you can take internally, you can look on the bottle and see that. Now, For the ones that don't have that, it's usually they just want to use it for topical or aromatic use. There's only a very few that are just for those things, and it's usually just because either the herb is not for internal use, or because just that blend or that oil is better used topically or aromatically. So anyways, when we're using them internally, we're not using very much. We're just using one drop, like one drop in a big glass of water. That's really all I need. And in every glass of water, I'll drink my drop of citrus oil, lemon, grapefruit, lime, any of those. Really great for helping to cleanse the body. It does help also to boost the immune system. It's also really good for digestion. So we love to take them internally. You can also, if you don't like the taste of them, because some of them, like lavender tastes like soap, not the greatest. But it's really great and effective when you need it. You can get these little empty veggie caps, and you just pop open the cap and you drop your essential oil inside, put the cap on, and you can take it just like a supplement. So that's a really nice, easy way of being able to get those essential oils internally without having to taste it. I have used them under my tongue before, sublingually, and that is a great, really quick way to get the essential oils into the bloodstream and into the body. Again, doesn't always taste that great for some of them, but I really don't mind anymore because it works so quickly that, you just do it. So anyways, that is using, those are our three main ways to use them. So let's talk a little bit about some of these. So I mentioned lemon. Using lemon in your water every day is fantastic for digestion, for helping to support elimination of toxins from the body. It's also really good in some tea with honey. It's really wonderful when you wake up with that kind of a scratchy throat. It's really soothing for the throat. I've made lemonade with it before. I also cook with it. So I've made like lemon crinkle cookies and like a lemon frosting before with it. It's really, really great. Any recipe that will call for like lemon juice or even lemon rind, you can use your lemon essential oil. So that has gotten me out of some situations before where I've either forgotten to get lemons or, I just couldn't get a really good zest off of my lemon. So also great for cleaning. Using essential oils for cleaning was one of the last things that I decided to kind of make over in my home, because I believe in making over your life in stages and not all at once, because that's too much and can be overwhelming. So cleaning was something I did a little later, and I started out with lemon because it was so gentle, and I have really small children at home, and so I just put it in a spray bottle. In one, probably about maybe a 20-ounce bottle, I would probably put about 20 to 25 drops of lemon, and the rest just with water. You could use vinegar if you wanted. I just don't like the smell of vinegar. And you just shake it, and you just spray, and you can wipe it down. And it's great. I love the smell of it. It does a fantastic job. It's antibacterial. But lemon also gets like crayon and marker off of surfaces, which is much needed when you're in a house filled with children, because that happens all the time. And so I use lemon a lot. It's also really good at getting gum out of hair and all those other great things that happen, when you've got children. So anyways, lemon is fantastic. It's one I actually order it every month. I always need it. Using lemon aromatically actually really helps with focus. So it's something that I use with my kids a lot when they are doing their homework or when I need them to focus on a task. It actually also has helped me sleep because lemon is a focus oil. So oftentimes, I don't know about any of you, but when I'm going to bed, my mind is not going to bed, right? I am constantly, my wheels are turning, I'm thinking about things, I just can't seem to settle. And so I'll take my lemon out and I'll rub it on the back of my neck. And I also like to do it on my chest because that's close to where I can breathe it in. And it really helps me to sleep. It just helps calm my mind down. And I've known a lot of moms to put it in their kids' diffusers at night, and they say that really helps them sleep. So good tips about lemon. Then we have, of course, we're talking about sleep, lavender. Lavender's all things calming, wonderful for sleep, relaxation. It's really good for the skin as well. Just think anything calming. So even things that you wouldn't normally think about lavender for, let's say you have a spastic cough, right? That just is, you just can't stop. Well, you probably want to reach for maybe some lavender, right? To calm the cough down. So kind of thinking out of the box with this one. So it can be used for more than just, relaxing. If you need like a muscle to relax, or you need support in some way, you can use lavender to massage in there to really help with that process. So we use lavender on the bottoms of our feet. We use it in baths with Epsom salts. It's a really great relaxing thing to do, safe for everyone in the family. It's such a gentle oil. It's a great oil for children. It's a great oil for pets, actually. Your dogs are not cats. Cats are a little different with essential oils, but they're great for dogs. If your dog has anxiety, it's a great thing to put on their paws, and really does a great job of calming them down. We also love lavender for the skin benefits. It's really good for skin blemishes to help soothe those. It's also really good for bug bites, ant bites, mosquito bites, things like that. Also burns. It really, really works. So burn by a curling iron or something. Get your lavender out and put it on. And don't think that just one application will do it. I didn't mention this before, but essential oils are meant to be used on a continual basis. So it's a little bit different than what we're used to. You would want to use it for, say, a burn, and maybe 10-15 minutes later, you would want to apply more. And maybe 10-15 minutes later, you would want to apply again. So you want to use little amounts more often is the way essential oils work optimally in our bodies. So again, great, very versatile oil. Actually, lavender has probably some of the most diverse chemistry of the essential oils, so we love it for that reason. Then we have Melaleuca. Melaleuca is just tea tree oil. It is great for cleaning. However, I don't really like the smell of it, so I wouldn't just use Melaleuca to clean. I might mix it with something else. But we love it to rub on the outside of the throat when you have a sore, scratchy throat. I love to use it as mouthwash with peppermint and swish it around after I brushed my teeth. It's very, very good for oral health. In fact, I was listening to a dentist talk about Melaleuca one time, and she really, really recommended it just for the oral health benefits and what it can actually do to change some of the bacteria in the mouth. So that's really, really beneficial way. It's also really great for cuts and scrapes. So it's one that I keep with me often in my purse or diaper bag, because someone's always falling down. There's always a scraped knee. There's always a something. And so we want to reach for our Melaleuca first to really help to cleanse it. And then we can put like lavender on top of that. But moving towards that Melaleuca first is good. It's so gentle. It's really a great immune boost, actually, especially for babies. So this is what I used on all of my infants when they came home from the hospital. I would get a roller bottle, and I just put 1 drop of Melaleuca in there and fill the rest up with my carrier oil that's already diluted, and I'd use that on the bottoms of their feet. It was so helpful. When you're bringing a new baby home, you've got other siblings in the house, and they're bringing in germs. It's really just a great help just to boost baby's immune system. So we love, love, love using Melaleuca for that. It's also really good for skin. So if you have blemish-prone skin or anything like that, it's a great thing to just put a drop in your moisturizer and use that on your face. Or even just use the fractionated coconut oil as your moisturizer. That's a great thing to do too. And I've done that in the past as well. All right, then we have peppermint. Peppermint is, I love it. In fact, I'm going to smell it because I love it so much. Oh man, so great. So peppermint is great for the digestive system. I love it in a drop of water. It's super refreshing. I also love it in my chocolate shakes in the morning, in my protein shakes. It tastes like a Girl Scout cookie, like a Thin Mint. It's delicious. So try that, and it's great. So just 1 drop is all you need. It's pretty powerful. Like I said at the beginning, it's the equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea, so you don't need a lot. You could also rub this around your belly, diluted. Peppermint is a little cooling on the skin. So it's one that many people really like to dilute. I actually prefer it diluted. I know my sister, she really loves that invigoration. And so she'll just put it on straight and she loves it. Really great for aches and pains as well. If you have a headache, you can rub it on your temples, on the back of your neck. Wonderful for easing the feelings of nausea. So if you're in the car and you just don't do really well in the car or on long trips, or pop out your peppermint. And I do that often on our trips down to see our family. And I don't do that great in the car these days, so I always have my peppermint close by. Or they have these little peppermint beadlets that are fantastic, and I'll pop a few of those, and it just really, really helps with my feelings of nausea and things like that. So anyways, I've used this for cooking too. Peppermint brownies, amazing. Try it. You'll thank me later. So love it. Also really good for cooling down temperatures, right? So anytime that our body has an elevated temperature, or we're outside working, or we just need some cooling, you can use peppermint for that as well. It does a beautiful job with that. So let's move on to one more, oregano. Oregano. This is not one we use every day, but it's a powerful one, and always, 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 always needs to be diluted because it's very, very hot. So I only ever use oregano on the bottoms of my feet because it's a really strong smell. I use it in my cooking as well, or I'll put it in an empty veggie cap. So oregano's an amazing immune booster. So if you're feeling a little run down, or let's say you've been exposed to something out in the environment, or someone that's a little run down themselves, you're going to want to reach for your oregano for sure, even just as a preventative way to boost that immune system. And again, you can rub it on the bottoms of your feet diluted. You can put it in an empty veggie cap. Now, if you have a sensitive stomach, right, you know that about yourself. In your empty veggie cap, feel free to put a few little drops of fractionated coconut oil, and that just helps to dilute it as you're taking it internally so that it does not upset your stomach. I have a sensitive stomach and it doesn't upset mine, but I know some people that, maybe they would want to put a little bit of dilution in there. So oregano, really good for that. It's a heavy hitter, so you definitely want to have it in your home, but again, it's not one of those everyday oils. Actually, I just cooked with it. I made a zesty chicken oregano tonight, and it was wonderful in that recipe with my lemon oil, actually. Really good. All right, let's move on to some blends. So Digestin. Digestin is, of course, the oil that changed my life, and I love it very, very much. It's good for any and all digestive issues. So you can use your imagination with that. Any and all digestive issues. It's fantastic. So in a pinch, if I'm really needing it, I will just drop this under my tongue. It tastes exactly like licorice. Not my favorite flavor, but like I said, this is one that I will handle it because it's amazing. This is a blend of fennel, peppermint, ginger, anise, and coriander. And it's fantastic. So you can rub this on topically. You can put it on the bottoms of your feet. You could drop it in water. It's also actually very, very good because of the ginger in it at helping to dry up mucus in the body. So if you're dealing with any of that, or if you have children dealing with that, you can rub it on the chest, around the belly button, or very, very carefully, you can apply it on the sinuses, diluted, because it does have ginger and peppermint in there that can be a little bit hot on the skin. Okay, so Digestin, amazing. I forgot, let's talk about frankincense. Frankincense is so precious, right? It's sourced in Oman and Somalia, and it is just, when in doubt, use frankincense. It's really good for pretty much everything. It can support the body in pretty much any way that you're needing it to. It really helps bring the body into a proper inflammatory response. So inflammation is a big word right now. Doctors are, concerned about inflammation. We're all concerned about inflammation, and we should be, because when the body becomes too inflamed, we get into a big danger zone, and we want to stay out of that danger zone, right? And frankincense can really help bring the body into that proper balance, because we have good inflammation and then we have bad inflammation, but we want to stay in the good zone. So frankincense can help us with that. It helps us really on a cellular level, and that's really, really important. It's recommended that we use frankincense under the tongue at least once to twice a day, so morning and night. And that is just a great way to support that inflammatory response in the body. So using frankincense internally is a beautiful way to do that for you. I love also the calming benefits it has for the body. It's very good for the brain. It's very good for balancing out things. It's good for mood. It's also really good, like I said, it helps with the inflammation, right, of the body. So it can help with pain. It can help with achiness, anything that you're dealing with in that way. And it's wonderful, wonderful for skin. So any kind of skin or scarring that you're dealing with, it can really help with imperfections. So it's definitely one that I use daily in my moisturizer. Yes, like that. It's great. All right, we have Breathe. So Breathe is only for aromatic or topical use, and it is what the name says it is. It's for your respiratory system. So if you are needing help there, if you're feeling a little stuffy, you're going to want to get Breathe and apply it to your chest. It's great in a diffuser at night. I've used it many a time for snoring spouses. It's really good. Right on the tip of the nose. Works every time. Or in the diffuser next to the bed. And really helpful. So my kids, I love to put this in their diffusers, and because it's a blend, it is really great for children, so it's not as strong, because it has peppermint and eucalyptus and lemon in it, and rosemary and cardamom, that's right, and so it's really great respiratory blend for anything like that, a cough, maybe you're having a cold, anything like that. All right, then we have On Guard. On Guard, I love the smell of it because it smells like Christmas and fall. It's really spicy with clove and cinnamon and wild orange, but it is again, like our oregano, a really good immune boosting oil. My family, including myself and David, we get this morning and night on the bottoms of our feet. David really likes to put a drop of this in his coffee. And it's really yummy. I actually have made muffins and cookies, and I actually have a recipe for On Guard popcorn that we've made before that's delicious. And so anytime that you're using On Guard, you're really helping to boost that immune system. It's really important that we diffuse On Guard, because that's one of the ones that really does a beautiful job at cleansing the air. And again, when we're breathing it in, we're really helping to boost the system. So when you're having people over in your home, or, families over for the holidays, and maybe some people are coming in with, not feeling so great, you want to make sure that you're diffusing On Guard, because that can really help to support everyone and help to diminish the spread of, anything that would be spread from person to person. So On Guard is a must. We use this for our hand sanitizer. In fact, doTERRA just came out with their own On Guard hand sanitizer, and it's fantastic. I love it. But you can also make your own very easily with just On Guard and water and a little bit of this in a little spray bottle. And so I do that as well. And it's super multi-purpose when you make your own, because you can actually spray it in your mouth if you have a scratchy throat. You can spray it on your grocery cart, theater seats, anywhere you are out in public. It's just a great one to have on hand. So we absolutely love it. My very favorite immunity roller blend is On Guard, lemon, melaleuca, and frankincense together. And I put that in a roller bottle, and that's what I put on the bottoms of our feet morning and night. So it's just a great all over boost for the system, but you have to do it consistently. Consistency is really important. I also love to gargle this when I have a sore throat with a little bit of lemon. Really, really helpful. The clove is really good at numbing, and so it does a great job of really just relieving and helping soothe anything happening in the throat. So great oil. Like the lemon, clean with this one. There are lots of studies that you can look up on PubMed and different really good sites that list the research for On Guard. And it's a fantastic cleaning way to clean your home without any toxins. They have lots of On Guard products. They have laundry detergent. They have hand soap. They have a cleaning concentrate that you can use for convenience. So it's a great line of products, and I think everyone really needs those in their home for sure. And then we have Deep Blue. Deep Blue is, again, like Breathe, only for topical or even aromatic use. I mainly use it for topical, but it's great for aches and pains. Anyone that's dealing with that, you just rub it on topically. It's wonderful. I've used it for headaches and head tension before. I've also put this in a bath with Epsom salts, and we're only talking maybe 2, maybe 3 drops in a bathtub. Not a lot. And it's wonderful after I've had a really hard workout or I'm just feeling very, very achy and sore. Deep Blue was wonderful for me during my pregnancy and even afterwards for those, just the pain, right? The pains that you get. My back was always hurting, and so this was my saving grace during that time, and I've loved it. If you've been on your feet all day and your feet are really achy, it'd be a great one to just massage and rub on the bottoms of the feet. I do that to David often, and it really, really, really helps him. So that has been a really great thing. They also have a Deep Blue rub that has a whole bottle, actually, of this in the rub. The rub is obviously much larger. But the rub has some extra menthol in it, so it gives you a little bit more of a cooling effect when you apply it topically. Now, if you really need a lot of support, then you can put the oil on first, and you can put the rub on second. And even better, put it on right after you get out of the shower because your pores are open. It's fantastic. So really, really helpful, very invigorating when you're dealing with things that really need that. All right, I think I got all of the top 10 basic oils that really everyone needs in their home. Really, these are the ones that we use every day, and we use multiple times a day. And they're easy to use. It's a little bit of a learning curve, but it's really just us getting used to doing something a new way. And once you're used to getting to do something a new way, you won't go back, and you also won't remember doing things a different way. To be honest with you, I don't really remember what we did before oils because that's really all we use now. I mean, I make my own cleaning supplies, we diffuse, we use the oils as our first line of defense. And if we need something else, then we'll go and get it. But we go to this first, and it served us really well. So I hope that this was informative for you. If you have questions, feel free to ask them, and I'd be happy to answer them. There are lots of ways that you can get your oils. There's just the wholesale account, which is wonderful, but then there's this awesome program called LRP, which is Loyalty Rewards. And if you're wanting to use essential oils daily like we do, I really recommend that you utilize that program because it's cheaper and it helps you to get the oils that you need into your home in a timely way. So anyways, I hope that you guys have a fantastic night, and I will see you later. Bye.